Hi, it's Shola here, and this is one of my behind the scenes videos. Today I'm going to share with you how I create my videos for my vlog and how I set up my podcast, and just share with you a few of my bits of hardware that I use. But first, hello, I'm Shola Kaye. I'm a public speaking coach based in London, and I work with organisations and with individuals who want to improve their communication. I have a science background myself, and so I quite often work with tech and STEM companies, but I also work with small business owners who want to get on more stages and just grow their business like weed. And not the smoking type, but like the weed that grows like unstoppably. Anyway, today I want to talk a little bit about my gear. And I've recently had a few people either write to me in response to my weekly newsletter, or I had an inquiry via the lady who does PR for me, and someone had asked her what equipment I use to create my videos and also to set up my podcast. So I thought I'd share some of that with you today, because I am all about efficiency. I like to repurpose as much as I possibly can. So if you may already know that I have my vlog, and then I also have a podcast, and then on my blog or my vlog I've got a written sort of, not even a summary, but a transcription of everything that I say on the video. And I didn't always do it that way. When I first started, I struggled to blog regularly. I really struggled. I hated doing it. So literally I would create a blog post, and then it might be, I don't know, a few weeks before I did the next one. And most of the blog posts were really short. They were, 200-300 words. And it was like pulling out my teeth. I used to really, really hate to do blogging. And of course, I wasn't found very often. I'm not saying I don't get a huge number of hits on my website now either, but I don't necessarily do it for that. I have another purpose behind creating my video blog. So anyway, that's how I was in the past. I didn't enjoy it and didn't do it frequently at all. And then probably around a year, or actually no, when I wrote my book, How to Be a Diva at Public Speaking, I thought, I can use my book as blog content. So I had my VA go through some of the chapters and extract certain paragraphs and points from the chapters and create blog posts from those. And that worked for a while, but I was the one who had to direct her as to what to use and what headlines, etc., to use and things. And again, life got in the way, and that process died a death. And so then I'd be blogging sporadically again until about a year ago, when I sort of said, right, Shola, come on, you've got to do this more regularly. And at that point, I started to do a video blog. And obviously, as someone who's a public speaking coach and a professional entertainer and a speaker, I've got to be comfortable with being on camera and speaking as opposed to just writing. And also, I find it much more efficient and easier to reuse the content, because of course with video you can do a lot of things. You can rip off the audio and create a podcast or sort of a SoundCloud, a piece for SoundCloud or an MP3. You can of course just transcribe the video, and which of course is what I'm doing. But once I started to do my vlog regularly, that really helped, because it, as I've mentioned in another video in my vlog, it not only helped me with my public speaking and just being a bit more comfortable just speaking continuously without needing to keep breaking because I've said something wrong or tripping up. So it not only helped me with that, but of course it helped me with content. So what I decided to do was batch my videos, because as I said, I love efficiency. I love to do something once and then forget about it, and then, not have to come back to it again for a few months if I can help it. So I decided I would batch my vlogs. So at first I started out by doing, I think I'd do like 3 or 4. And what I would do is I'd just lay out, 3 or 4 different tops on the bed, and I'd say, right, today's today I'm going to record some videos. So I do a couple of videos, change top, do another couple, or I might do one, change my top, another, change my top. So it looked like, I was doing them on different days. So I started just by doing that. And what I would do is I would either have my VA transcribe the video and get some text there, or sometimes I would, if I was feeling a bit lazy or didn't have time to ask her to do it, I would just do a quick summary myself. But then even having to do a summary of something I'd already spent minutes creating was like, oh, I don't want to do this. So then that was for a few months. It was either Angel who was doing the transcription. Angel's my VA who's based in the Philippines, or it was me writing a summary. But then, as I say, I got fed up with that. So then I heard about an app which is called Otter.ai, and it's a transcription app. And you can use it to transcribe your video. So a few months ago I thought, okay, well, let me try and do all of this in one. So what I would do is I'd start recording the video, I'd set the phone up with Otter, the app on it, so I'd be transcribing the video at the same time as I was recording it, just in real time. And around that same time I also started to create a podcast. So a lady who works for me set me up on Podbean. I was already on Podbean as a subscriber. That's how I liked to listen to podcasts. So we used Podbean to set me up with my podcast. And what we did is found somebody on Elance to take the videos. So we'd put them up on YouTube, and then he would take the videos from YouTube and just strip the audio, and then we would use that audio. And then someone's on the phone to me. And then we would use that audio for the podcast. So from that process, it really hugely helped, because now I have content for my podcast, I've got content for my videos, I've got written content for my written blog. And although it's AI generated, because it's AI generated, it's not perfect. But for those people who like to skim through and don't want to necessarily watch a whole video, it's great for them. And it's also great for SEO, because Google is seeing that every single week there's a good chunk of fresh content going onto my website. Now, in terms of the process, the flow that I use, the way I kind of wanted to get it set up is so that I literally do the video, create the video, and then I never have to see it again until it's on my website and it's all sort of perfectly formatted and everything. So what I do is, once I've recorded the videos, I send them via Dropbox to Angel, who is my VA. What she will do is she'll upload them to YouTube, and she'll also create the thumbnails for each video. And then once they're on YouTube, then what we can do is create the blog post. So a lady who helps me with other areas of my business, she will create the blog posts, or Angel creates the blog post sometimes, and then we get the transcription in there also. And then on top of that, what we also do is then have Jay, who is based in the Philippines, who does the podcast editing. He will then strip the audio and then clean it up a little bit and get that to a lady who then gets the podcast sorted out. So my only other interaction with that content right now is to go into my website, into my my blog on my website in WordPress, and every week I will just hit live on each of those blog posts. And to be honest, that's probably something I don't need to do anymore. And so I'll probably create a little process around getting that done too. But it's handy for me to see what's going live next, so that when I create my newsletter content, that's all kind of synced up and I kind of know what's coming. People have emailed me and said, oh, you seem quite prolific, you're getting out things regularly, and that seems really impressive. And so hopefully by sharing what I've just shared with you, that helps you to see exactly. I'm just checking, the screen went dark, so I'm just worried if it stopped recording. But hopefully that helps you to see behind the scenes how I'm able to get the vlog and the podcast and the written content out every week. It's certainly not me. I wouldn't be able to do it without the help of 3 very able and very capable people, 2 in the Philippines and then a lady who's here with me in London. Now, in terms of the actual hardware that I use, I can't show you all of it, but I can show you my, I've got a couple of different mics that I use. So I don't record on my phone. I tend to use my laptop or my iMac when I record the videos. And at the moment I'm in a hotel room and I've got a mobile set up because sometimes I find it's too distracting to create these videos at home. So it's quite a nice thing to do, to go to a hotel. Now I've got 3, 4, 5 uninterrupted hours to get this stuff done, and I can just record a batch of say 5, 10, 15 even, probably 5 or 10 videos at one time. So in terms of my mobile setup, I've got this mic. I'll just try and pick it up. I hope it doesn't go all clinky clanky and noisy for the podcast, but this mic is all I've been using. It's a little Samson Meteor mic, Samson. It was only about, here we go, it's only about £50. I love it. It's got this very Art Deco look about it, and it comes with this really nice little pouch, velvet pouch, and it's pretty decent actually. I've been using it for my remote recording and videos, and it's got these kind of 3 legs that fold up and protect it, and at the back you can see it plugs in via I guess that's the old school USB, and then it's got a headphone jack as well. So I use that for my recording when I'm doing my mobile setup, and then I use, whether I'm at home or travelling, I use my camera, which is called a Logitech C920, and I think there's a later version of that camera that's out now, but I know that it's got great it has great visuals, and I know a lot of coaches and people who podcast and film regularly who take that on the road with them, and I've been really, really happy with it so far. I can't show it to you because I'm using it right now to record myself, but it's called the Logitech C920 camera. Now when I'm at home with a fixed setup, I don't tend to use the Samson Meteor mic because I have a condenser mic that I used to use when I was doing a lot of studio recording, and I use it sometimes when I do voiceover work as well. And it's called the Rode NT1A mic. It's just a starter condenser mic. I think it was about 150, 200 pounds. And so I use that because it's just permanently set up in my office, and so I can just plug it in and use it. But to be perfectly honest, the Samson, I was quite surprised when I went to India earlier this year. I took the mobile setup with me, and I'd not used the Samson mic before for any video that was going to be used later on for a podcast, and I was quite surprised. It actually sounded quite decent. So for a relatively cheap mic, you can get a pretty decent sound, and it looks cute as well. And I've seen some of the I think the Blue Yeti and the Blue Snowball, and they look quite big, and I don't know if they're sort of quite large mics, and they kind of dominate the space, and I don't know how easy they'd be to take on the road. But I love this little one because I can just pop it into a pencil case even. It's got its little pouch. It's very easy to get into my handbag, and so yeah, I'll keep using it until I can't use it anymore when I'm on the road. So I hope that helps. Just to share again in terms of how I make my videos, podcast, written content, I batch everything up because that means I can just do it over on one day every 2-3 months and get it over and done with. And then I have a process by which I get my team members to help me to get everything up online. So I hope that helps you. If you have any more questions about the gear, please do check in with me. I'd be happy to answer whatever I can. And good luck if you yourself want to get a podcast out there or start vlogging regularly, then good luck with it. I haven't regretted it for a moment. It's not time consuming when you chunk it like this, and I really think it's helped me with my SEO on my website, and also it's easier for people to make a decision about working with me because they actually hear me speak, it's almost like they're kind of not with me in the same room, of course, but they get a much better sense of my energy and who I am. Whether or not they might think, no, I hate her, she's horrible. But at least they can make a bit better a decision having seen me on video. So I hope that helps, and good luck. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.